Hope everybody's good today.
What is it for the future? The family. I want more. I want freedom. I'm purpose driven for equality. You're gonna know my name. I feel the same. Ain't nothing changed. You're gonna know I am good. Respect me and my legacy. And I wish you would Google me, read my story. You're gonna know my name.
Welcome to the Face Behind the Brand. This is episode 109. I see you, King. What's going on, Merch Son?
Deep down inside, I'm thinking of you.
Come on in.
I can see it in your eyes, your heart is still true. You bring the best of me inside when I'm next to you. I feel time passing by, no need to justify. Feels like paradise, don't wanna say goodbye. No need to justify. Feels like paradise, don't wanna say goodbye. And I know, and I know, and I know it's true. And I know, ain't nobody like you. And I know, and I know, and I know it's true. And I know, ain't nobody like you, like you.
Hello.
Love you. You're beautiful inside. You hold me so tight.
How you doing,
You're
Alexa?
always on my mind. And I love my life. When I could wander through the tide, it feels so right. I can finally see the light. No need to justify. Feels like paradise. Don't wanna say goodbye. No need to justify. Feels like paradise. Don't wanna say goodbye. And I know, and I know, and I know it's true. And I know, ain't nobody like you. And I know, and I know, and I know it's true. And I know, ain't nobody like you, like you.
Hey guys,
Yes. Welcome. You know I had to bring you in, okay? I had to bring you in. Welcome to the Face Behind the Brand. I am your host, Monique Marie, and you are the beautiful and sensational model, singer, songwriter, author, recording artist, and actress, Abraxas.
for having me.
Absolutely. How was your day today?
It's been great. As you know, I'm not on the West Coast right now. I'm currently in Nashville. So it's
Nashville.
been a
Yes.
good day.
So you're in the music city of Nashville, Tennessee, live with us. You took the time out of your busy schedule. I'm so thankful. I want to say, of course, shout out to Adrian Howdigy, who made this possible, introduced me to you. Adrian, of course, as you know, is from my hometown, Oakland, California. And I am just, again, so thankful that you're here.
Thank you, Monique, and thank you so much, Adrian, for setting this up. I'm really happy to be here.
Absolutely. So what is going on? I'm going to I'm gonna circle all over the place because I mean you're everywhere. So what is going on that you can share with us in Nashville, Tennessee?
Yeah, so I'm in Nashville. I left LA 2 days ago, and I'm here meeting with a record label and a couple producers. So I'm really excited. I know, fingers crossed.
Jesus Christ.
I know, I'm so excited. The energy here, the vibe here is so cool. It's just the city of music. So
yeah,
I'm loving it so far. I'm excited to see where it's gonna go. As you guys know, I do pop. Like pop music is my thing.
Yeah.
Or lately with my writing and with my feelings as an artist, I've been diving into it. I'm kind of having a little country twang in there. So
I could totally see that. I could hear that and see that. I mean, honestly, I was going there with Like You. I was like, I feel like I'm listening to pop and country. Just because of the style, you know, it's because it's comfortable for one, and you have a slight accent already. So I get I think the country music will just, you're going to soar with that.
Well, I'm happy to be in Nashville. I'm meeting with, I met with one label already. I'm meeting with another one tomorrow. Producers and vibing, seeing what happens, meet with people, fellow artists, write.
That's incredible. Well, you have a lot of support on here. I see all of your amazing fans and family. I even see quite a few artists on here in the building. I see, I saw Mert's son in the beginning, of course, and I saw Young Lot. I see you. I saw J. Lee Last Pick. There's a lot of artists on here, and of course, other models. I mean, I feel literally just blessed, of course.
All the girls, the models, my friends are coming up, my fans. Thank you guys so much.
Emery, oh my God! I mean, there's so much energy and vibration. So let's start from the beginning. You are of Caribbean descent. You're from Trinidad, and is it Tobago? Am I saying that right?
Yep, Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
Was born there, came to the U.S. as a child, and raised in New York City my entire life.
Yeah.
So she's a New York girl, city girl.
Yes.
That's best.
Yeah.
Moved from New York to LA almost 4 years ago. November will be 4 years. So it's been such a journey.
Well done. Well done. Well, you left corporate America to pursue your dreams. So again, congratulations to you. You've been modeling for over 10 years now, correct?
Yeah, modeling at a very young age. I started modeling as a teenager in high school.
Wow.
So, I've always been in the arts and in the industry to some extent, but after school, I went into corporate and was like, I need a structured life, but I guess that's just what society told me that I have to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got a chance to look at so many of your incredible images, and shout out to, of course, your amazing photographer. Is it Bill? I want to say his last name correctly, so I'll let you pronounce it. Your photographer, is it Bill Washay?
Yeah, Bill Washay, and so many others.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful.
I'm just gonna say the one.
Bill Washay.
Only because those are, of course, a lot of the photos I was, of course, utilizing for your flyer, and amazing job with the photo shoot.
Shot my album cover.
Yes. Say the name again.
Nick Osen.
Nick Osen. So Nick Osen, shout out to Nick Osen. He is going to be coming this week, right behind you. You guys are amazing. Yes, I'm cheesing.
Yeah, love him.
So yeah, shout out to Nick Osen again. Adrian Howdegi, just again blessing me. So let's go back to some of the photo shoots, because I want to know, just looking at what I've seen with both the album cover and, of course, out in the desert, along the ocean, what is the longest photo shoot that you've ever had? I mean, all day? Is it a few days? What is the process?
Well, it's funny you say that. The longest shoot I've ever had was my most recent publishing with Harper's Bazaar. And if you saw that.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was, first of all, being at Harper's Bazaar was such a dream come true for me, not just because it's a major magazine, but when I was I want to say 14. I went to visit my mom at work, and she works for the CEO of American Eagle, and on the coffee table were 4 magazines, and it was Harper's Bazaar, Elle Magazine, Cosmopolitan, and Vogue.
Ooh.
Harper's Bazaar, and I was like, Mom, someday I want to be on that magazine, and she's like, maybe you will. So when I woke up to my agent, Cece, thank you so much, Cece, for making this happen. When I woke up to his call saying you're on Harper's Bazaar, it was just like, oh my God, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
I did. So the shoot, that picture,
yeah.
that day was like a 15-hour day.
Ooh.
I was in a van from LA to the desert, Palm Springs.
Yeah.
At 3 a.m., I woke up, left at 4, was in hair and makeup, all day wardrobe. At like 5 p.m. in the blistering sun.
Oh my God.
The editorial for that. So it was quite a day.
15 hours. So, and the thing is, I mean, again, congratulations to you. So to anyone who, of course, came in a little late here, we're talking about Alexa Abraxas' photo shoot with Harper's Bazaar, which is an incredible magazine to be a part of, the editorial. We're talking about credibility, okay, when it comes to this magazine. And she, of course, graced the cover of this magazine. So congratulations. 15-hour photo shoot. It's interesting because we cannot tell it was very hot out there based on your pose and poise.
It was so hot. I was very upset. It was so hot that my phone crashed completely and would not turn back on. It fried.
Oh my God.
So I had to get a whole new phone. It was a long day, to say the least.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. So who is one of your influencers when it comes, I know there's many, when it comes to models, who would you say is a strong influencer for you?
Oh, gosh.
I know.
So many of them, but like the first that comes to mind, like when I think of fashion and couture, I think of Tyra Banks.
Yes.
And Linda Evangelista, who just like, they made fashion.
Yes. Yeah.
Made elegance. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, speaking of fashion, you are incredibly a fashionista. You are, of course, I mean, very well poised with putting things together. Is this all you? I mean, is there a stylist involved?
Most of the times I dress myself. However, if I have like an event like a movie premiere, any type of red carpet events, I'm usually styled by the past few designers. Has been August Getty, which is one of my biggest mentors, one of my best friends, and I love him to death, and it's such an honor to wear his pieces. And Carlos Manning's from La Croix. His line is called La Croix.
Jesus Christ. Blessed. True blessings. We came in to, of course, going back to Like You, because, of course, we're talking about a model, an actress, a singer, a songwriter, a recording artist.
Ton of careers.
Look, I'm sweating just really trying to juggle all this, okay? So Like You was the single that we came into. It's your first single release. Incredible job. Well done.
Thank you
on this release. Talk to me about the creative process of Like You.
So Like You came from a place of, I met this guy and he was perfect on like just everything I wanted. And I said to him, I'm like, you're the type of guy that every girl wants.
Yeah.
Like I've always wanted a guy like you.
Mm.
So I wrote a song, my single Like You for him.
Wow. There it is. It always starts with something personal.
I'm an artist. I can't help it. It comes in the heart. I just write what I feel and turn it into music. Come up with a melody, and before I know it, I'm just singing.
Well, amazing job. Can we expect a visual with this sound as well? I know you have another single coming up behind this. So what can you share with us?
I have 2 songs actually coming out within the next month. I'm really excited for. what I can share is my
I know.
my upcoming single. It is about heartbreak, and it's called Red Flags. So I'm excited about it. And I think a lot of times when we get into relationships, or like when we start dating someone, we don't see these red flags, or even if we do, we ignore them because we're just so infatuated with that person.
Ooh, talk about it.
So like when I got my heart broken, it just all started flooding to me. These red flags. I should have seen this. I should have seen that. Like, that should have been a red flag. Like, why didn't you notice this? Like, you could have protected yourself from these red flags.
Yeah.
So I decided to write the song Red Flags about that, to just, I don't know, put my music out there and help whoever's listening to it to see those red flags in their relationship, really.
Yeah, yeah. Because they always say the writing is on the wall, right? You know,
Yep.
Especially when it comes to negative feelings, and, you know, butterflies are kind of misleading sometimes, because it's like, am I feeling butterflies, or am I feeling like my own signs and signals telling me something's terribly wrong here?
What you feel, because like, so it's my song is Red Flags. It's about that. It's just
Feelings.
careful. Go with caution, guys and girls. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, take your time with it. It's hard, because love can be such a beautiful thing, but it can also make you so vulnerable, and, you know, and so scary, and it can also hurt you pretty bad. So
Such a beautiful thing to me. Like, in my opinion, like, you have to be able to be vulnerable, because then you'll never truly feel.
yeah.
You know.
Whew, absolutely. So speaking of love, and of course your acting ability as an actress, you've had some amazing roles in both visuals, and I want to start with I Love You. I Love You, of course, was a sound from, of course, the American Idol artist. Am I correct? David Hernandez?
Yes, David Hernandez. I love David so much. He's such a sweetheart, amazing person to work with, like such an inspiration to me. His vocals are insane, and just like being able to talk to David and hear his ideas and hear his inspirations, it's just, it inspires me. So that was so fun. It was so last minute that I got to be on that project, but it was a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, and I think it was encouraging also because, of course, just the topic in general. I mean, we're talking about, of course, the LGBTQ community, and him basically saying it's okay to love, and, you know, and to love who you want to love. And you played this amazing, I'm feeling, was it a therapist? Were you their therapist and listening to what was going on in their life?
I was their therapist, basically talking them through like what, like, so my famous line is,
Wait, say it again.
so how are we today?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's basically their therapist, and that that song was about going through relationships, and it's okay to talk to someone, and it's okay to love wholeheartedly. So I really appreciate that. And being in the LGBTQ community, it's, as we know in today's society, it's so important to be visible. So
Yeah. Well, you definitely are visible. And just, again, shout out to you. And of course, you know, David Hernandez, for doing this amazing visual. I mean, the visual itself has over 117,000 views. So definitely has made an impact. People can see sometimes more than they can even hear. You know, I always say listening and hearing, of course, there's two different skill sets going on. It's like, I know you can hear me.
Oh, the lyrics itself are so beautiful in that.
Yeah. So we definitely can see and hear everything that's going on there. And I even like was looking at some of the testimonials, and one of the person was saying, like, it's my prayer that some person out there who's questioning themselves, who wants to literally take their own lives, because you have people taking their lives because of what people think about them. And not just in the LGBTQ community, just in general. We're talking about social media, right? With what people see and feel. So what are your thoughts about that? Because you're in a business of image, right? And then, of course, there's image, but people forget about mental health awareness.
100%. I think that's like something that sometimes frustrates me so much living in LA. It's always about the image, always about beauty and the outer shell. And to me, I struggle with that so much. And people are just like, oh my gosh, you must be the most confident person because you're beautiful and you're a model. And I'm like, no, because to me, when I look at worth or value, I view someone for who they are. And
yes,
just sometimes LA can be tough. And it's not just LA, it's just the world in general. I think social media has painted this picture of what we need to look like and what we have to be. And I hope that I can use my platform and my music to help inspire young men and women to just be themselves and love yourself. Like, don't just think, like, perfect example. I met this girl and she's like, gosh, you're so beautiful. Like, you're perfect. And I was like, perfect.
right.
I got stretch marks all on the side here.
Right.
What are you talking about? When I take my makeup off, sometimes there is acne. Like, my thing is just don't feel like you have to be perfect just to please the world or what society say you have to go by. Like, it takes it, there's just such a deeper meaning to yourself and digging into yourself as a person to love yourself, and loving yourself is so important in today's world. And mental health is so important. After the past year we've had with the pandemic, like, so much has happened. So I think this is the best time to raise awareness for mental health and to also take a step back and appreciate who we are as people versus just this. And don't get me wrong, this is nice. Like, I mean, it's nice to look at people. But what else is there?
What else is there? I love that. Yeah. And it's interesting. I love that we're talking about this because, there's so much body shaming going on. So we're talking about hate crimes is one thing, of course, and people hating people for being who they are. But then you're talking about body shaming. And I see it a lot, especially right here, on social media. And it's one thing to encourage people to, whether it be gain weight, lose weight, whatever it may be. But everybody cannot handle certain things a certain type of way, a certain delivery of conversation. And it says a lot, like what you just said, it says a lot about the person's character, because if you're just so focused on that and think that that's all that a man or a woman wants is what you look like, something's terribly wrong with you in here.
It's just unfortunate to me, and I feel like I live in that world and in that industry, and I think as a young artist, I want to help change that because, again, social media has corrupted the way society thinks that you have to look or you have to be. So I really just want to help people like with through my platform in music and film accept themselves and love themselves for who they are and just be you. And for every young man or every young woman out there who look at me and they're like, well, you're a model, you can say that because you look like you do. No, sweetheart. I'm just as insecure. I have a lot going on. I have my stretch marks and my problems that I deal with. But at the end of the day, I can look in the mirror and say, I know who I am.
Yes.
So I think that there's just such a message to be said and like spread. So I'm happy to be entering that venue of music to do so.
Well, I'm happy that you are as well, because of course you are definitely setting the bar very high.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I actually was watching an interview myself. I'm always watching different interviews, and I was watching Breakfast Club, and they were having this conversation recently with Lizzo, right? And Lizzo's very comfortable. She's comfortable in her own skin, which I think is beautiful. It makes her who she is, both musically, body, everything, right? So one of the things that she had just recently said was that she's going to go vegan. And then they asked her, well, is that going to be a problem with some of your followers who are, of course, the thick girl club, and thinking that you want to become this small, size 2? And she said no. She said, if anything, that actually hurts her feelings the other way. It's not about her being her size. It's what people think that she's doing it for. We're talking about a platinum artist, who is very, very, very comfortable in her skin. So I just think it's incredible when I see artists like, yourself, like Lizzo, who is owning their power. So talk to me more about, again, that specific line itself, owning your power.
I love that, and I respect that so much. about Lizzo. I think, again, young women will look at me and be like, well, it's easy for you to say that because you are a model, you are pretty, you are skinny. Like, it's easy for you to say that, but I also work for it.
Work for it.
And we're humans.
Yes.
We're built so differently. There are, and in my opinion, everyone's beautiful. Everyone has their style, their shape, whatever they are.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable in your skin, good for you.
Yeah.
So I work hard for my body and I take care of myself and my health.
Exactly.
Work out and I do my juices and my turmeric shots every week.
Yes.
So me. So I completely respect Lizzo for wanting to go vegan for her, you know?
For her. Yeah, because that's what she said. She's like, I want to be healthy. Like, even though you guys think I'm doing this to support, but it's still, it's not okay, you know? You know,
yeah,
so.
Not necessarily always about, like, when you're in the limelight, it's not about what people say. It's just who you are. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Well, speaking of, you mentioned something about the juices and the turmerics, because I know you wrote your own cookbook. Am I correct?
Yeah, I love to cook. It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
It's been. It has been.
Girl, I got to dig and find out who I'm interviewing. So.
Cooking has been such an outlet for me since I was a child, and it would be like a comfort thing to cook and welcome people. So for even the holidays, being in LA, you kind of have to form your own families around the holidays.
Yeah, yeah.
And my friends have become my family, so we'll always get together and we'll cook. And so the past 2 or 3 Thanksgivings and Christmas, I'll cook this huge meal and this dinner, and then after we're all done, whatever leftovers we have, I'll break it down into containers and we'll give it to homeless people.
Wow.
Just as a way of giving back and being thankful and helping others to not feel alone at that time of the year. But that all comes into cooking, because cooking is just, it brings people together.
Yeah.
And that's why I've loved cooking, is because it brings people together. And it just, people, like, when people try my food and they like it, I'm just like, it's a good feeling. Like, I did a good job. Like,
yeah. Well, I'm a big foodie, so I have a question for you when it comes to cooking. You ready for this?
Hear it.
So if you only had 2 choices, okay? If I only gave you 2 ingredients, out of these 2 choices, which one would you use? Okay, we're talking about ginger and turmeric together, or carrots and curry. You can only choose one of those 2 to work with.
Girl, you are 2 good ones. Carrots and curry is great, but when you think of ginger and turmeric, that is a superfood. Like, both superfood that's so good for your body, full of vitamin antioxidants. So I will always go with ginger and turmeric. I do my ginger and turmeric lemon shots every other day. So
I love it. I have to figure one out. Literally, I have to go through my cabinet and look at different seasonings that would really throw you off. But you were like, whatever, girl. I got turmeric and carrots. But yeah, it's funny because I have this. I started drinking lemon and ginger. Literally, I want to say a month and a half ago. One of my friends is doing like this amazing dieting on TikTok, and she's like gone viral, like literally gone viral, like over 1 million views. And she's lost a lot. Speaking of losing weight, she did it for herself. Her stomach, she was just really heavy and not comfortable there. And not only did she start working out, but she just religiously drinks ginger and lemons together every day.
I'll just throwing the turmeric in there. It's so good for you. It's such a cleanser for your body.
Yeah. So I'm happy for her too, and I'm glad to hear you. So wait a minute. So you could put turmeric in the ginger too? You recommend ginger in there and in the water?
Right, ginger, lemon, so
really?
good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try that one.
You might make fun of me for my juicing, because I genuinely love the taste of kale and spinach. So I would gladly do my kale, spinach, celery, and throw my ginger and turmeric in there, and that's a great meal for me.
Yeah. I just seen Adrian Howdigy join us. We gave you some love.
Adrian.
AJ, thank you so much for this amazing, amazing artist, this influencer, this model. Alexa Abraxas. AJ has been, again, a wonderful, an amazing person, another artist, of course, artist management, producer. I mean, he's another one wearing many hats. So we love you, AJ.
Taken such hold and helped manage my career so far. So thank you, AJ.
Is amazing. So this is around the time that I like to do wordplay. I think we discussed this during our preliminary. So there's no wrong or right answer. Okay. I'm going to say some words to you, and I want to know the first thing you think of, first thing or experience or whatever. Okay. You ready? The first word I've come up for you is purposeful.
Purposeful.
What comes to mind when I say purposeful to you, Alexa?
What comes to mind is, what is your purpose of being here? And I think a lot of people struggle with what their purpose is.
Okay.
In today's world, a lot of young people don't know what their purpose is and wander so hard to figure that out.
Yeah.
I think if you stay true to yourself and you stay true to what you love doing, you'll always find your purpose, whether it's in music, film, finance, law, whatever. You'll find your purpose if you focus and you stay true to that.
Yeah, absolutely. The next one is courageous.
Courageous. Comes to mind when I think of courageous, I think of my mother. She's one of the most courageous, strongest, diligent women I know, and just been such an impact, like influence in my life. So when I think of courageous, I think of my mom.
That is so beautiful. Hi, Mom.
She's watching.
We're proud of your daughter, Mom. She's amazing.
Thank you.
These words I picked are just for her. Inspiration.
Inspiration. Instantly, when you said that, I thought of two names.
Yes.
Bryan Singer, August Getty.
Woo.
Bryan Singer is one of my favorite people and dearest friends, and when I think of his creative mindset, just as August Getty, it just mind blows me what they've done and what they've been able to come up with, and it inspires me to want to do more in my craft. So that's what I think of when I think inspiration.
Yeah. Well, one last word for you that I created, of course, for you after just diving into your amazing journey is the word powerful.
Powerful.
Yes, you are powerful.
Powerful, I think of women.
Yes. Woo! Yeah, you know what? Thank you, honey.
Women have been suppressed for way too long. So when I think of power, I think of what we have to give and what we have to offer that hasn't been seen, that will be seen. So when I think of power, I think of revolution of women conquering and overcoming.
Alexa. Girl, don't make me cry, girl. Amazing. Well, these words, of course, I try to pick words that I think of when I'm, again, studying people who I'm going to be interviewing. And those words are, and there's so many, but of course, we'd be on here all day.
Taking them, I think those are good choices.
Absolutely. So who's on your playlist lately besides yourself?
Never listen to my own music.
Really?
Lately, I've been listening to Lonnie. I've been listening to Kelsey Ballerini. I've been listening to Love, Nick Osen.
Yes, Nick Osen.
Just really. Carrie Underwood. Love Carrie. She's an inspiration.
Yeah. Incredible. So you've had the opportunity, and speaking of some of these amazing artists, we just spoke of Nick Osen, Adrian Howdigy, just so many people that you've been able to, work with. you know, David Hernandez. When you're around these people, when you're doing these amazing, of course, acting and visuals, modeling, what are you studying from them? Because these are people, of course, we're talking about that have obviously been here for a while as well. So when you're around like a sponge, what are you taking in from these people, from these incredible artists?
It all varies.
Yeah.
When I worked with Bryan Singer, I took so much from production,
Yeah.
from what he did. When it comes to August Getty and being around him, I'm thriving on his inspiration and his mindset, and the way he thinks is just so beautiful. And when I work with people like David Hernandez and Nick Osen, I hear their voice and I hear how they get into their emotions. It's just like, it puts me in that mindset, in that place to want to create. So I absorb that creativity, and I absorb that just that flavor and spark for craft, my craft. So it helps me perfect my craft, which is not like any of theirs. They're all individuals. They all have their crafts.
Yeah.
I have to perfect mine. So I just take in from many different artists and do me.
That's incredible. I see you have some, again, more artists dropping in. I see Tiana Goss. That's another artist from out of LA. Network, you ladies. That's big. That's an LA artist.
Here, Sarah.
Tiana Goss, Zara. I see AB in the building. So a lot of people, of course, on here supporting. I appreciate all of you today. And if you're just dropping in, this is an incredible model, actress, recording artist, Arthur, of course, in Los Angeles. Tell me about pre-COVID, of course. I know you had the opportunity to attend, of course, many shows, and I want to talk a little bit about Netflix, because, of course, your presence with Netflix is a big one. So I want to talk about you and Nick Olsen and all of you all when it comes to attending. Is it Fear? What is it titled? The Fear? Is it Fear?
Our most recent movie premieres was the Fear Street trilogy.
Yeah, I was trying to say. I'll let you say it.
Yeah. So we went to the movie premieres for those, which I'm thankful to Netflix and Lionsgate for having us, and the Carpel Group for having us there. Yeah, it's been so nice to be able to go to these films and just be inspired and listen to the directors talk and see the artists, the actors who are on screen there and talk in real life. So that's been so much fun.
I think that's big. You also have attended big events. Of course, again, I have to say pre-COVID. I saw that you were at Coachella.
Oh, so Coachella is why I moved here.
Ooh!
Well, moved to LA, not Nashville. Moved to 4 years ago, I came to LA for Coachella, and I literally was not planning on. I was just like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun weekend." And I looked at my friend Emily and I said, I think I'm gonna move here." And she was like, "Wait, what?" And then my friends were just like, "You have a life in New York. You have a corporate life. You have a structured life. You have everything planned and set for your future. What are you talking about?" And I was like, "But I'm not living my dream. I'm not happy. Like, I want to create. I want to be on screen. I want to sing."
Yes.
So I went back home after, that was in April. Went back home, saved, work all summer. October, packed up my stuff, had it shipped. November 1st, I moved to LA.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Well, it was the start of that. It just like opened my eyes to so much.
Yeah. Coachella's a big one. I mean, as far as just, this how artsy it is. I mean, people think it's all just about music, but it's not. I mean, you see so many artists like, in fashion and models and just so much that goes on at Coachella.
Oh, yeah. It's always happening.
Yeah. It's like, what is it, 2 or 3 days, or is it 2 days?
It's 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Okay. So it's a 3-day. I've never been to Coachella, Alexa.
Oh, my gosh. You have to. It's so fun.
I've never been, but every time I see everybody else's experience, I just want to
your outfit set.
Oh. So when is the next one? I know with COVID and everything, I mean, the States.
In October, no?
This year?
I thought it was. I thought because it was originally supposed to be in April, but they pushed it to October for
So, so stages are open down there. So what's the music scene? Obviously, people are still wearing masks, or what's going on?
Where, in Nashville?
In LA. Well, tell me about Nashville too, because you're there, but I want to know about LA also.
Oh, in LA, I think you have to wear a mask to enter the places. If you're going indoors, you have to wear. Some places are requiring vaccinations cards, which I'm vaccinated and promote that. And if you're not, then I definitely think you should. In Nashville, no one's really wearing a mask here.
Wait a minute. No, don't feel bad.
Wearing a mask. They're not really checking for vaccination. But again, none of my business. I'm fine. I'm vaccinated. I hope y'all take care of yourselves, because that's what's important. And not spreading this virus is just very crucial right now.
It's crazy. And speaking of, there's Clizzy Houston. You got producers on here, girl.
Huh?
Houston from the ATL. I seen Sun Cheeks earlier. There's a lot of producers coming to see who is Alexis Abraxas.
Me.
So let's go back to modeling again, of course, because I'm just so, excited about your modeling career as well. So are there ever any types of modeling that you avoid, that you would steer away from as a model?
Not particular. I mean, obviously there's been people who are just like, can you model nude? And I'm just like, what are you trying to get at? Because if you're just a freak that's trying to see me naked, then no.
Right.
There are some beautiful artistic creations from not completely nude, but like nude and implied. So that would be my only thing, really. I mean, as far as it goes for modeling, you should, your job as a model, you show up and you do what you're paid for.
Ooh, absolutely, absolutely. And I like that you say that, because I was going to ask you next to talk to the culture, to the generation coming behind you that is watching, obviously, and who you're influencing, and to share with them what the focus is, and how to, of course, do everything that you've done and are doing. What is, drop some gems for some of those folks who are aspiring to be in modeling and music.
I would say, as far as it goes for modeling, be realistic. Know what your market is. And it's the same thing for music. Know what your market is and go for it. Do what makes you happy. If you love to sing, I'm literally living that right now. And I'm a colored woman in Nashville, Tennessee, trying to sing country. That's unheard of. So go for it. Do what you love. Put your heart and your soul into it. Give it your best shot, because that's all you really have is your best shot. Because you're going to wonder 10 years from now, what if?
Yeah.
The work, wonder what ifs.
Yeah. I love that. I love that, Alexa. And the thing is, again, going back to being of color, I mean, yes, you are there in Nashville, Tennessee, honey, in Nashville, okay?
There, sure.
My uncle and aunt live in Nashville. They moved from Seattle, believe it or not, about 10 years ago. And her family is from there. They're both, she's black, and of course my uncle's black. But she wanted to be closer to her family who were there because they had a baby, and most of the little ones, the youngest, the younger cousins are there. So that was their only reason for wanting to be there. But he always tries to get me to come. He's like, are you crazy? You haven't been to Nashville yet?
Nashville, it's fun. There's a different vibe here, and just the music is beautiful to me. I'm like a kid in a candy shop when I walked into a couple places on the strip, and I'm just like, like, it's inspiring, really.
Wow. Hey, Kano. Hey, Erica. Malika. I see all of you all. This is so amazing. So much energy in here today for Alexa Abraxas. And I was looking for you the other day, girl, on the stories. I just totally left the whole A out, so forgive me. But I found you, of course, after, with that. So how do you cultivate with your fan base? Because you have a lot of fans. So how do you cultivate? I mean, you're such a natural, of course. You were obviously me introduced to you by Adrian, but if I had never met you, how is it that you cultivate and continue to, of course, just be yourself and make your fans feel comfortable?
I think my biggest thing is just motivate,
Yes.
feel loved, because in today's world, so many people don't feel that sense of love.
Mm.
So I like to be able to help people to just feel feel themselves, like live yourself, like why not?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
really, when I talk to people and talk to fans, it's just all about loving who you are and loving the vibe you're in. And granted, sometimes things can be tough and we have different things going on in our life, but it's how we choose to view that. We can choose to view it as in like, well, everything's just going wrong, my life is a mess, or we can be like, well, things are going wrong, but what's next? What's the solution?
Yeah.
So really, it's just about uplifting and continuing that positivity.
Yeah. Well, you're very positive, and that's why, again, that inspiration comes from that. I mean, just again, getting to know you and again, studying your background. You have a lot of strengths, Alexa, a lot of strengths. So, of course, I always want to know, with all these strengths, what is your greatest weakness and how do you work to overcome it?
My greatest weakness, I would say, is love.
Woo.
I'm hopeless romantic and I believe in love, and it's I would say it's a weakness because a lot of times when we're in love, we fall, and
Mm.
after it's broken, you become broken.
Yeah.
So I'd say that is my greatest weakness, but it's also helped empowered me to be better and move further. So it's a win-lose.
Yeah. Well, we talked about love a lot, obviously coming in to Like You, and I Love You with the visual that you did with David Hernandez. I want to know this, besides modeling and music, of course, and cooking and writing this amazing cookbook, if happiness was the national currency and you couldn't do music and you couldn't model, what other kind of work would make you rich, Alexa?
Plain and simple, I don't even have to think about it. Astrophysics. I would be an astrophysics tomorrow.
Woo! Talk about it, honey.
Astrophysics?
Yeah.
I think from such a young age, I just love science so much. I wanted to know
Wow.
how things were created, the development of a leaf or the human body. So that moved more from science to, well, what else is there? What else is out in the universe? Sky, everything is so unknown. What else is there? So I think my passion for if I wasn't in the industry, I would definitely put my focus on astrophysics and helping further space exploration.
Oh, Jesus. Girl, listen, you got a lot going on in that brain of yours, okay?
Too much.
That's crazy. I would have never even thought of that. I mean, oh my God. Okay.
Oh, it was, as a child at one point, it was a part of my dream to work for NASA and go to space and help further space exploration.
Woo. Okay, I got a scientific question for you.
There,
I have to laugh first at this question. Wait. Okay. Have you ever asked yourself why glue doesn't stick to the inside of the bottle? Oh, shit.
what a question!
Huh?
I've never thought of what. I mean, I can understand why it doesn't stick to the bottle because it's a liquid, and there's probably some type of layer inside of the bottle that contradicts the glue, hence why it wouldn't stick to the plastic.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I'm gonna have to do some research on that one.
When I was like thinking about this question, it's so funny when you talk about astrophysics. I'm like, I'm going to ask her a scientific question. But I was trying to figure it out to the point I had grabbed an old bottle of glue, the orange top, Murphy's or something it was. And I was trying to figure out why it comes out so liquefied, and then of course it's just ready to, I think when it hits the air, it goes into this adhesive, you know, whatever.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay. A lot of sense.
So before we get out of here, I want to play your song for everybody, if that's okay, in case they missed it coming in. This is Abraxas, everybody, and this single is out now, available on all platforms, and the song is titled Like You.
Thank you guys so much for joining in today, and thank you so much, Monique. This has been such a pleasure and honor.
I'm going to have you tell everybody where to find you once we're done here. I'm going to play this first, though, okay? Like You.
Only knew deep down inside, I'm thinking of you. I can see it in your eyes, your heart is still true. You bring the best of me inside when I'm next to you. I feel time passing by, no need to justify. Feels like paradise, don't wanna say goodbye. No need to justify, feels like paradise, don't wanna say goodbye. And I know it's true.
Thank you.
And I know ain't nobody like you. And I know it's true. And I know ain't nobody like you. Love your eyes. You're beautiful inside. Your heart is so tight.
Okay, now said it's a
You're
vibe.
always on my mind. You're the love of my life. I can wander through the tide. It feels so right.
Hey.
I can finally see the light. No need to justify. Feels like paradise. Don't wanna say goodbye.
Get into it.
No need to justify. Feels like paradise. Don't wanna say goodbye. And I know it's true. And I know ain't nobody like you. And I know it's true. And I know ain't nobody like you.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Abraxas, Like You, out now on all platforms.
All platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube. Go for it. My next song's coming out soon, so I hope you guys tune in and listen to it. It's a little different. There's two of them. One's country pop, and one is going to be R&B pop. So look out for them.
Absolutely. And that song, of course, one of them that you shared a little bit, of course, that's Red Flags, right?
Red Flags, that's correct.
Red Flag. So where can we find you aside from Instagram? We know you're on all these platforms. Do we have a website, or what are the other platforms that we can find you on?
Yeah, so currently working, I have someone currently working on my website. It should be launched within the next week or two. So look forward to that. But aside from IG, this is usually where I communicate with people and fans and everyone. So
absolutely. Well, thank you again. You have just watched episode 109 with Abraxas from Los Angeles, everybody. Well, I should say NYC and now LA. In Nashville, Tennessee today.
Come on, Nashville.
Hello, Nashville. This amazing interview will be available in a few minutes. I will upload the entire interview to the Face Behind the Brand YouTube channel. You will see just a clip, of course, available to you on Instagram. But for those of you not familiar, go ahead and click the link in my bio and subscribe to the Face Behind the Brand YouTube channel, and you can watch this entire interview from the beginning, just in case you came in at the end. So Alexa, Abraxas, amazing.
Ma'am, thank you so much for having me, Monique. This has been such a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely. I appreciate you so much. Safe travels. How much longer are you going to be in Nashville, darling?
Here for another week and a half, so.
Woo! Jesus.
I'm getting the country on, girl.
Work, queen. I am so excited. You just got me so excited. A week and a half. Sheesh.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you already in advance. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love you all.
Peace, darling. Thank you so much.